Hi, this is Ernie. I'm that guy who had $6 in his checking account to now having millions of dollars. For those who have been recently following my account and watching my videos, I always talk about making money selling options. So today I want to talk about what options are, what it is, how it works, so that you don't make comments or send me messages like, I'm so screwed, the stock went up. Because you should know what are some of the scenarios and how you're going to make money and whether this is something that you even want to do, and have that full knowledge before you do something. So for those who have been following for a long time, this is just a refresher. But for those who are relatively new, this is how you make money on a regular basis and potentially give your middle finger to your boss and quit your job. So let me show you how it works so that you have a good understanding of whether this is something that you even want to learn to do. But for FYI, I make about $64,000 to $67,000 a week doing this. Yes, a week. And I even share some of my spreadsheets where I make $842,000, or I forget the amount, over $800,000 just doing this a year. So this is something that you should definitely pay attention to and watch the whole video and figure out whether it makes sense for you. So let's dig in. Right before I came home, I had a supermarket. I had lunch with my wife, and my wife and I were discussing on what we should do, because in her account she had about like $220,000 in cash because something got exercised. Yeah, we got exercised, so she made money. And I'll explain to you what it means by when something got exercised. So let's dig in first. This is something that my wife and I talked about, SOXL. You guys must be thinking, I was like, oh, stop talking about SOXL. So with $220,000 that she had, she wanted to know where she should park her money. So this is what I told her. Right now, it's trading at $70.84 or 83 cents. Price is always fluctuating. I told her, if you buy 10,000 shares with her cash and sell call option, then she's going to get about 55 to 57 cents. This earlier was 60 cents. So let me explain to you what this means. So with $200,000 in cash, she went and bought 10,000 shares of SOXL at 17.84. And she then, step one. Step two, sold call options at $18. And she pocketed premium of $0.60, which means she just made $6,000. So income, $6,000. And of course, there's a commission that she needs to pay. So what happens when the price goes up above? So let's say scenario A, price goes up to 19. And as you probably know, even if it goes up to 19, she still has to sell it at 18. So that means she's going to get income of 6,000 plus, she bought it at 17.84. She's selling it at that. Now she makes additional 14 cents. So additional, she's gonna make another $1,400. So total $7,400 is what she makes this week. Let's say price scenario B, the price goes to 17. So price is 17. Nobody wants to buy $17 stocks at 18, so this option will expire. So additional income, this becomes zero, right? Because nobody's gonna buy it at that price. You still keep the income of 6,000. So your income, total income for the week, $6,000. In this particular case, because your option was not exercised, you still have those shares that you could sell next week at whatever the premium that they give you at $18 again, or maybe $18.50. This is painful, especially if it goes to, let's say, $25 this week, because it means you still have to sell it to them at 18 when it was 25. Unfortunately, not a lot of stocks will just spike like that, but some will. But you have to know that the risk of you doing this option strategy and making this guaranteed income of 6,000, no matter which way the stock moves, comes with a risk. Any type of investment comes with a risk. Some people are getting very impatient and bring emotions into trading, and they say, I don't want to lose my shares. Oh, they popped. I'm going to spend my own money to close those calls and lose money. And then like Friday, the price drops and they lose even more money. No. Once you make that commitment, unless you can roll up, it's a whole new different topic. You stick with that plan and let it get exercised and make money. And then you move on to something else and find something else and repeat the same thing. We're talking about, and this is almost Tuesday's over, right? So we're talking about 3 days of option money, and she's able to get 6%. Was it 6%? No, not 6%. 3.5%. 3.5% a week just doing this. Whether price goes up or down, that is amazing return. Because if you're able to do 3.5%, let's just, for mathematically, to make it simple, 3%. 3% times 52 weeks will give you over 150% return. Yes, you heard me correctly, 150% return if nothing gets exercised. It gets exercised, you make even more money. So the point is not to be like, oh, I don't want to lose it. I want to hold on to this as much as possible. Your goal should be let it get exercised so that you make even more money, unless you could still make money rolling the price up. That is the only exception. You should always let it get exercised. That is the way to make money. And some people say, what if I want to get back in? You should get back in if you think there's an opportunity for the price to go up more. But if not, you shouldn't. And sometimes just because on Friday price went up, that does not mean it will continue to be elevated. It might actually come down. Just like SOXL, I've been telling people, Bollinger Band, it's on top, blah, 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 it's on top, it should come down. It's been coming down from 18.5 to now 17 something. So don't be worried that you'll never be able to touch it. It's okay to never touch that stock again until it drops again. But that is why you need to do research and figure out how many different stocks you could potentially play with when it gets exercised. Anyway, hopefully this answers your question. Please like, repost, and comment. And hopefully you guys are making tons of money like we did. Bye.